ever wondered how ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft treat their drivers? Well, a recent settlement in New York has shed some light on this. The story starts with a multi-year investigation into Uber and Lyft's policies. The probe found that these companies had withheld hard-earned pay from drivers and denied them benefits available under New York labor laws. This wasn't an oversight or a minor mistake. It was a systematic practice that affected thousands of drivers. Now, after years of investigation, Uber and Lyft have agreed to pay a whopping $328 million in settlement. This amount will be entirely distributed to current and former drivers who have been shortchanged. So if you've ever driven for Uber or Lyft, you might be entitled to a slice of this substantial pie. This settlement is considered a major victory for rideshare drivers. But how did we get here? The journey to this settlement has been a long one, filled with many twists and turns. It all began between the years of 2014 and 2017, when Uber and Lyft started deducting sales taxes and black car fund fees from drivers' payments. Now these were expenses that should have been shouldered by passengers, not drivers. This resulted in a significant decline in drivers' earnings. But the plot thickens. Uber and Lyft misrepresented these deductions in their terms of service. They told drivers that the company would only deduct its commission from the driver's fare. They assured drivers they were entitled to charge the passenger for any tolls, taxes, or fees incurred. However, no method for doing so was ever provided through their apps. In a similar vein, Lyft deducted an 11.4% administrative charge from drivers' payments in New York. This was the exact amount of sales tax and black car fund fees that should have been paid by riders. To further complicate matters, both Uber and Lyft failed to provide drivers with paid sick leave, a benefit available to employees under New York City and New York state law. The drivers, many of whom come from immigrant communities and rely on these jobs to provide for their families, were left to bear the brunt of these unfair practices. With these revelations, the stage was set for a major showdown. So, what does this settlement mean for Uber, Lyft, and their drivers? Well, let's break it down. First and foremost, the drivers stand to benefit significantly. A whopping $328 million in Backpay is set to be returned to them. This is a huge win for drivers, many of whom have worked long hours under challenging conditions. Also, the settlement introduces a minimum driver earnings floor. This means that drivers are guaranteed a certain level of pay, providing a safety net of sorts. Additionally, drivers can now look forward to paid sick leave. This is a crucial benefit, especially in light of recent global health crises. Proper hiring and earnings notices are also part of the settlement, providing drivers with more transparency and control over their working conditions. Now, let's talk about Uber and Lyft. They've been ordered to pay $290 million and $38 million respectively into two separate settlement funds. This is no small change and signals a shift in how these companies will operate moving forward. This settlement has indeed marked a significant turning point in the rideshare industry, ensuring that drivers' rights are respected and upheld.